what a day that was. It's what I call a bad fur day.
Stupid logo! Yeah, that's better. You can get it.
Kick back and grab a six-pack because, hell, this game is not for kids. Conker's Bad Fur Day, you are in the role of a squirrel. A nice furry little squirrel. What you think? No. You're up all night partying to the break of dawn. A brutal hangover. A miserable day that follows up the story behind Conker's Bad Fur Day. You are a drunk squirrel trying to get sober. And you meet one of your best friends in this game. A scarecrow, and his name is Birdie. He's drunk, super drunk, and I mean you'll have tons of fun trying to convince this guy to give you different things. And even when he charges you money, the money will come back into your pocket, and his eyes will go cha-ching. But Conker the Little Party Animal is at the mercy of the game designers, and it's something really cool. I mean, tossed from one theme world to the next, up against the next parody sequence, which is a lot of fun. You're going to be running into some insane amount of characters in this game, and I mean insane. You will be laughing your ass off. You will be questioning why did they make this game. And this game is not meant for kids. It looks like it's for kids, but if you see the front cover and the way he swears, this game was supposed to be directed towards kids, but it took a different approach, and you got a swearing drunk squirrel. So parents, do not buy this game for your kids. I warn you right now before I get into the review, because you'll hear a lot of beep, F this, damn that, and you'll see a lot of breast in this game. Unfortunately, you'll see a lot of breast. So let's get into this review of what I think of Conker's Bad Fur Day.
No, that's the talk.
Unlike the action of the Banjo games, everything is kept very simple. There are no button combinations like Banjo-Kazooie or new moves learned along the way. Instead, you have your basics, you get the helicopter jump, and even whack people with your freaking frying pan, which is hilarious. There's also something called content-sensitive action. Whenever you need something, it comes at the moment you need it, leading to a gameplay that's sensitive to content. So, if you're a little bit confused, let me give you an example. Let's say you're about to get attacked by a swarm of bats, okay? When you stand over the enormous B block, a light bulb goes ding above your head, and you can whip out a trusty flamethrower and have a nice feast for bats and flame them on. Here's another example. At the halfway point, death bestows upon Conker a sawed-off double-barreled shotgun. You can burst skulls and spit blood, but only within the following action sequence that calls for the gun, after which the gun is no longer usable inventory. See? Sensitive to content. The result of that is flown between gameplay and cutscenes, which is really fun in Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's strictly linear, forcing you along a single path from beginning to end. But what keeps the game fun is the deduction required to keep you going. What do I do next? How am I supposed to kill this boss? All will be fine and dandy as long as you stay on that path. I mean, if you don't stay on this path, you will be super confused. Somehow I made a jump that wasn't supposed to be made and found a B block I wasn't supposed to get yet. After trying to jump on the B block many times, I then realized there was an invisible wall holding me back, which was kind of irritating, to be honest, but damn invisible walls. The only thing they're good for are keeping the mimes at bay. As long as you focus on the job at hand and figure out the intended path, it's a-okay. So check this out, guys. Due to the accidental save of this game. I've ended up playing through this game nearly twice, and let me say, this game isn't one for those sloppy seconds. I mean, you'll have a lot of fun replaying the single-player quest. It's like going through all the motions with good feelings of discovery. So, all you are left with is how fast you can complete a game, given longer time, or at least another ending to back the whole thing up. Thankfully, there's a chapter mode, which is really cool. It also allows you to go right to your favorite sequences, and I had a lot of favorite ones that I won't spoil for you guys. One of them being the Matrix scene, where you have to shoot all these weasels, and it's like the Matrix movie. Thankfully, that saved the game. There's great cutscenes, and you'll have tons of fun meeting insane characters. Speaking of friends, there's also tons of 7 multiplayer modes to drag you and your buds into, which is so fun. It's welcome bonus, but just filler material. The multiplayer games implement the same control structures and responsiveness as the single player mode. So frankly, it just isn't quick enough for the many variations of death matches and heroine matches. However, kudos to Rare for an N64 game, which is really something interesting. There are so many sweet graphics, and just the gameplay and the multiplayer is a lot of fun. I can't really get into the multiplayer, just you'll have to play it for yourself to find out, and you could even play it on the Rare Replay. But the gameplay, it's, like I said, content sensitive. You'll run into different characters, you'll do some insane things, you'll even have to fight a big lump of shit, which is really funny, and he sings a shit song too. So for an N64 game, these are some sweet freaking graphics. I mean, it looks good, and as better as Banjo-Tooie, while keeping some smooth and supplement frame rate, which is really fun. There's light sourcing and such as the impressive bright lights to the errant weapon fires of the evil teddies. I mean, these teddies are super freaking evil. But as you see the weapon being shot, it's a lot of fun to see, and the graphics are really top notch on this. The soft shadows look great, but the shadows don't always give you a helpful guide for platform jumping. Despite all that, it would have looked so much sweeter on last age system. So according to the credit information, Conker's employees were really focusing on the graphics for this game because, I mean, it is Rare, and you got to think about it. Rare has a reputation with Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, GoldenEye, and I can keep going down the list. But I must say, these graphics are freaking sweet. I like the cartoony vibe they're giving it, and it's something that you'll always remember, even to this day. I mean, even with the Rare Replay, the Conker Live and Reloaded that we got on the original Xbox, I mean, these graphics are still top-notch when it comes to the Nintendo 64. And like I said, this is the N64 version that I'm reviewing. I must say, they're still up to par with this day. I mean, the flames, the boss battles, the cartoony blood that you see that splatters throughout the whole floor when you get attacked by like a dinosaur or by some type of, you know, a monster or cartoon or whatever. It's still a lot of fun to see. Even when you hit someone with a frying pan, you see the blood come out. And the little chunks of chocolate that Conker's eat, they're really funny to see. So that's it for the graphics. Conker's Bad Fur Day is the kids game that browsed the adult section and then loaded itself on Daddy's private stash, if you know what I mean. But it has its crosshairs directly aimed at the college audience, so this is not for kids, like I said. And it works perfectly for the peeps who have grown with Mario and are now looking for someone less dorky. That is, between frat parties and other immoral activities that you guys have out there. I mean, looking past the hype and surrounding the first true adult Nintendo game makes you chuckle and drives you to keep playing. And this is something that's really fun. And this is why I like this game. I had so much fun playing this game, going to the club and just bashing these stupid rock monsters, rock chicks or whatever. I mean, the one part where you have to help this bee get his flower girlfriend and open her breast up so she could jump. You could jump on top of her. And it's just ridiculous amount of stuff you could do in this game. Quirky stuff, and I had tons of fun just having a good old time and being Conker. I mean, I would have liked this some deeper action or at least a longer experience, but this is still certainly worth the investment. Now, where do I put that Bloody Mary mix? I mean, okay, listen. You got the Xbox Live Reloaded version, you got the Rare Replay version. If you were to check out, I would check out the original Nintendo 64. I mean, it's funny, great audio and great voice acting, some real quality game sequences. Second half of the game is simply action. Linear nature and broken game flow for some things, okay? But the characters you meet in this game are a lot of fun. The one thing I didn't like about Conker's love interest was his girlfriend. She was kind of annoying and really stood to herself. You didn't really see much of her until the beginning of the game and then in the middle of the game where you're doing that Matrix level. But other than that, I had a fun time fighting a big pile of shit. And I know it's gonna sound crazy saying I had a fun time fighting a pile of shit, but that was one of the most fun bosses that I've ever played on a Rare game. I mean, even the money, how it comes back to you when you try to pay someone is hilarious. There's so much dialogue in this game. Conker's a smartass, and the characters that you meet and run into are so funny. This is not for kids, like I said. Do not get this for your kids. Even if they beg you, Mommy, I need this game. No. Critical says no. Do not get this. But I give this game a 9 out of 10. Despite some things I ran into, I had a fun time playing this game. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. Guys, thank you so much for checking out my videos, and I'll be back with another game review of The Witcher 3 on Thursday. Take care, happy gaming.